Hi, my name is Cora and I've been teaching math for the past 6 years. And in this presentation, I'll explain why I'm interested in being a Keenan Fellow. There are many reasons why. One of them is I really want to gain experience in a real-life STEM field job. My whole life, I've dealt with purely numbers. I'm a mathematician, and if I'm honest with myself, numbers do not have much meaning unless they're applied to something. So I really want to see the numbers in action, and I want to see them on the job in an internship on a STEM field. I also want to be able to collaborate with other teachers who are just as excited as I am about incorporating real-world scenarios into the classroom. And through my experiences as well as their experiences, I know we'll be able to make really powerful lessons for the math classroom. I also want to be able to share what I've learned with other teachers. This experience is not only for my benefit, but I want to share what I've learned with other teachers so eventually all of our students can reap benefits from what we've learned. How will an internship experience support my professional growth, classroom instruction, and school system? I'm someone who learns by being on the job and being hands-on. I learn something if I do something and see it in action. So if I'm given the opportunity to work with an internship program, I will have a much better understanding of what I need to do in order to bring the skills into the classroom and make lessons that will better equip my students and also spark my students' interest in these fields. If I'm actually seeing what goes on, I will have a much better idea of how to do these things in my classroom. I also wanted to design lessons that happen in the real world. A lot of what we do in the math classroom are hypothetical situations, and if I'm honest with myself, a lot of the real world scenarios come from those word problems at the end of the section, which are not necessarily things going on right now and are mostly hypothetical scenarios. So I want to bring the world into my classroom. And I also want to show other teachers how what I've learned can benefit their classroom. This experience would not just be for myself. I want to take notes while I'm on the job and show, a physics teacher how what I've seen could help them, or a history teacher, or an English teacher, or a biology teacher. I want this experience to not only impact me, but also impact as many teachers as possible. How will this help me to be a more effective teacher? Well, if I'm out there on a real-world STEM job, I will know the exact tools I need for the classroom to better prepare my lessons and better prepare my students for these jobs. As a teacher, my job is to get these students ready for after high school. So I want to know exactly what I need to be doing in a math classroom to do that. And I also want to make my content more relatable for my students. If I can actually show them exactly where I've seen things go on or have heard from other people that are in the internship, things that we do in the classroom that are actually going on in the real world, they will gain so much more benefit from that. A lot of what I do in my classroom, I do a lot of exploration activities because I want my students to understand where the numbers come from and why they work. So incorporating these STEM-related job lessons into my classroom, it will flow very nicely and will also help them to know why they're doing what they're doing. So how will my students benefit? Well, I want to be able to provide real-life scenarios. I want to be able to tell my students what I saw on my internship and relate it exactly to what we're doing in the classroom. It's a lot more meaningful for a student if I say, I got to see cell division on a real job and I got to see the exponential model they use to predict the cell division. That's a lot more meaningful to a student than me saying, well, an example of exponential growth is cell division. So I want to be able to make my class as meaningful for them as possible. I also want to make lessons that simulate things that happen in the real world. I could take something that I did on my job and show or bring it into the classroom and see what my students would do, and then we could compare and contrast what they did versus what actually happened on the job. And I also want to provide more hands-on, out-of-the-classroom lessons. Although the learning does go on inside the walls of a classroom, I want to immerse my students in how numbers are used in the world and be able to show them numbers in action in the world. And if I can do that, that would be great. And how will this experience benefit other teachers? Well, I want to share this experience with as many teachers as possible, and through this program, I will know the appropriate tools that I can use to help teachers. Teachers are much more willing to buy into something if you can provide an actual real-life example of what they could do in their classroom. So with this experience, I could provide them with the tools and examples of lessons they could use to change from this traditional way of teaching. And I also want to show how collaborating with other subject areas is very important. All jobs require skills from all content areas, not one content area. As of right now, students just see my classroom as a math class and their history class as a history class. If we could cross-curricular collaborate and make lessons and projects that involve skills from all content areas, that would be so much better for our students because that would be actually preparing them for what goes on in the real world. So these are just some of the reasons why I want to be a Keenan Fellow. I appreciate you for giving me the time to tell you why I'm interested, and I think this program is a great program for teachers and will help benefit all of our students. Thank you.